here. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, hi everybody. Good afternoon. My name's Erin Strayer and we're on live with the lovely Kelly Servis. I'm super excited to have her with us today. And oh my gosh, this is the Perspective Shifters interview series, and this is all about bringing hot topics to center, highlighting amazing female entrepreneurs, talking about problems and offering tips and advice and service and pros out there. And so, oh my gosh, I am Erin Strayer, and I'm an accelerated business strategist and a growth consultant. And I help you get clear, focused program alignment, bringing all of that together and optimizing and leveraging you, increasing your visibility and your ROI, that bottom line, right? So that's what I do. And in just a minute, we're going to talk about this lovely lady right here next to us. If you're hopping on with us, we got a couple of little rules. One, we want you to say hi to us and share this video. And if you're here live with us, let us know that, because we only can see a number, but we can't see who you are. So if you're here, say hi, let us know. We know a couple of you guys are popping in. Dee's here, Cyan's here. Thanks for hopping on, people. We really super appreciate that. This lady is Kelly Servis, and she is, I'm gonna like just ooh and ah over this lady for a minute, because she's rocking the face of this earth, you guys. She is the owner of Alchemy. I never can say that word right. Alchemic Creations, and she is a high level branding expert. Okay, so if you read the preview to this, she has done branding for powerhouses like Levi Jeans, like North Face, we all wear that, like Patagonia, right? Like Calvin Klein jeans, we don't want a pair of those. So she said, the heck with you guys, you're not big enough for me, and went out on her own so she could service and design beautiful brands for the likes of us. So I'm super happy you're here with us, Kelly.
I am so excited. You have no idea. I'm beyond grateful for the opportunity to chat with you. You know the backstory. You have been a huge inspiration to how my business shifted, just a year ago. So I'm beyond grateful to be here. Thank you so much for all of you joining us live. This is so much fun to be able to engage with you guys and have some interaction live. Being on BeLife platform is one of my favorites because you guys can kind of communicate with us, ask your questions, and really get involved with this. So it's not just me and Erin having a chit chat. It's you guys being able to throw your stuff at me. And so, maybe get some help from me right here on the spot. So I'm super excited to be here. Thank you so much. This is just amazing.
Yeah, so that's key, exactly what Kelly said. So as you guys are here and we're rolling through our content today and deciphering some of the misconceptions that are out there about branding, if you have questions, put them in the comments. We'll take care of them as they roll through, or even on the replay. If you're watching this replay, by all means, if you have questions, throw them in the feed. We'll make sure we loop back around to that. So
I'm so excited. Here we go. Are we ready?
Here we go with all things branding. What in the world is branding, Kelly?
Oh my gosh, there's so many pieces to this. And the most misconception I get, right out the gates from most of my clients is, so I have a logo, I'm branded, right? And we all know that is just the tiniest component of an overall brand. A brand should be an entire experience for your clients. It should be this overall vibe, this feeling, this interaction from start to finish. From the second they start engaging with you, whether it's through your Facebook post or maybe they come across your website, your energy, your vibe, the whole feeling that your brand represents should be very apparent to them right out the gates. They should be able to feel super relatable to you right away. That's how they know that they've found their people, is because they can kind of communicate with you on a personal level. They feel like you're more of a person versus just being a brand, a product, or a service. So you want to make sure that branding is an overall experience for your clients.
Yeah. Hey, the Miss Samantha Parker's in the house. Hi, Sam.
Hey, lady. So glad to have you here.
Thanks for joining us. Yeah, and what the cool thing is about branding is that people can identify, just like you said, right out of the chute, what you're about, who you represent, what you're, how you interact with your clients, and the feeling that they get being there.
Oh, yeah.
Like and your brilliance, that's where your brilliance comes in, because you have that uncanny ability to grab and quickly navigate people's personalities and what they're about and what turns them on and what makes them tick, right? And what they push forward. And you are brilliant at that. Yeah, that is absolutely one of your superpowers for sure. And what makes you stand out above the rest of the people. Ms. Kelly.
And I owe that to you, actually, because when we first talked a little over a year ago, I had just been working with all entrepreneurs. I'd been working with anybody, whether they were health coaches, whether they were VAs, accountants. It didn't matter. I was just working with entrepreneurs in general. And I loved it, had a lot of great clients, a lot of success. However, they weren't my people. And I couldn't figure out why I couldn't connect with my people. Couldn't figure out where my tribe was. And, you'd heard it all along. Your vibe attracts a tribe, yada, yada, yada. I could not find my tribe. And then one day, Erin and I got on a call, and it was basically to just kind of help each other. She had some questions about branding. I had some questions about business. And obviously, we were just connecting to connect on a personal level. Neither of us were trying to make a sale. Neither of us were trying to make a new client. It was just a connection on a personal level. And we're sitting there chatting, and she tells me that I'm an indigo child. And I had never heard the term before, but after our conversation, my mom, hello mom, she says, like me. Yes, it probably comes from you. She's always told me from such an early age that I was different. I have two sisters, and all three of us are a lot alike, but I was kind of different. I stood out a little bit. And so after your and my conversation, I really did some research on what an indigo child was. And I realized my intuition is what sets me apart from a lot of different branding experts out there. I'm able to feel and see things with my clients that most people don't have that interaction with, which is what kind of accelerates the process for me, because my clients have this disconnect from whatever they're feeling confused by. And I can see right through that problem. I can, feel it. I can engage with it right away. And I'm able to identify that problem before the client even knows they have the problem. So that's a really huge plus for me, and how I kind of separate from the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, and that really sets the plate, really, when you're having your initial conversations with your potential clients, right? You draw that right on that initial phone call. They're not even signed on the dotted line yet, and you're already pushing strategies in front of them that'll help them navigate and narrow down.
Oh yeah, where the focus should be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
because a lot of them are a little scattered, so they're not really sure what they want to do. Because especially now that I've found my people in the spiritual bosses world, a lot of them are conflicted on how to bring their business in with their spirituality and still have it be a branded professional business that has success. And so for me, it's really easy because I was able to tie in my intuition and make it a huge part of my brand. So now I'm able to connect those dots for those people. And it's really fun to see them bring their spirituality, which is their whole background for a lot of these people, in with their passions and make it one.
Yeah. Yeah. And when they realize that they can intersect business and their intuition, their spirituality, their spidey senses, what that extra knowledge, the mom, how your mom has, an extra set of eyes and, that sixth sense, whatever you want to call it, that's your intuition. And when you can bring that strategically into and intersect it with your business, it's just brilliant, and things just
flow.
Yeah. And so leading into that strategy part, with their brand, let's just move there. Once they navigate and they bring you on, there's a whole strategy behind setting that up.
You mentioned a good point. I offer my client, or before I even sign them on as clients, I offer a 30-minute compatibility call, because not only am I interviewing, or they interviewing me, I'm interviewing them. I'm wanting to know if they're serious about their problem, if they're really serious about getting clear on their strategy. All of my mom's got her eyes up. She sees everything. Yes, you do, mother. But so I go ahead and have these compatibility calls. And like you mentioned, I'm laying out strategy sessions before they've even signed with me, because I want them to have an idea of how I work. And I work in a partnership with my clients. We sit down together to do this strategy as a team. I see the problem. They kind of help me fill in the blanks. And then I'm strategizing with them before they're even signing. I give them opportunity to walk away and strategize on their own with what I've given them. Or usually they're just like, can you just do this for me, please? Right. So it's really important for me to lay the ground for them so they can see the bigger picture that I'm already seeing within the first 10 minutes of having a call with them.
Yeah, which, I'm going to loop back around to acknowledging that intuition and how quickly you can filter your clients and make sure, one, you're giving them actionable items.
Always.
And that's people will figure out if you're not already that know, like, and trust has to be developed, and that's up front. And when you provide those little actionable items on a discovery call, a lineup call, a vision call, whatever you call your onboarding pre-screening phone call to line up, if you can give them those actionable items and, hey, you can go do this yourself or you can just onboard me.
Well, and the nice thing is you're also giving them the ability right away to, where was I going with that? Oh, I just lost my train of thought. When you're having that compatibility call, you're proving that you're not there to just make money. You're not there to just sign a client. If you're truly passionate about what you do, you're here to help people. And that's totally what I'm about. I give a shit about helping people. I really care and am passionate about seeing my clients find the clarity, the alignment that they're looking for. So for me, that initial call isn't about making sure they're going to sign my packages right there. It's making sure they know what they're capable of, what the possibilities are for them. Because I know in this world, the possibilities are endless. There's no cap on our income. There's no cap on the amount of lives we're going to touch. All of that stuff is open for me. And so to be able to have my, potential clients see their endless possibilities, that's huge for me. That's why I tick. That's what I do. So to be able to drop as much free help as I can within that 30 minutes is a really big deal for me. It's huge.
Yeah. So when they decide to brand, there's actually like a little journey that you take them on, like a little.
Oh yeah, it's a huge process.
Yeah, and like you and I had talked about that, and that's like a roadmap, and let's talk about that for a minute. And what that looks like.
So that's where a lot of people miss the mark on the first time around. They don't really put in the time to put together a solid strategy. They know that they need a brand, so they grab a color palette, they grab a logo, and they go ahead and start calling themselves branded. Well, as you know, I've got a brand course right now going on. It's a DIY course, and I have a bunch of students in there who have said the same thing. I thought I had a brand, I thought I had this all going, but now that I'm going through the steps and actually laying the foundation, I realize I'm not a brand at all. I'm just put together. And that's where people miss the mark because there's no strategy, there's no game plan, there's no roadmap to follow. So before I even get started with my clients, we do a brand audit. We overlook where you're sitting, what everything feels like at the moment, how your clients or potential clients are seeing you. And I give you the hard reality because what you think your brand is sitting here looking like could not be anything like what I see your brand sitting like. So I have a heart to heart, and it's a little harsh for some people, but that's how I am. I'm very honest and very blunt. If you're not going to be able to handle that, you're not going to get results with me. So we do the brand audit.
That's also authentic and transparent and real and how everybody else is going to be viewing them.
Yeah, you have to. If you're not authentic and you don't know who the true you is, you're never going to build a personal brand that's going to be successful because people aren't going to be able to relate to you if you're not, able to relate to yourself. So you have to do the hardcore digging. You have to do the soul searching. And I make my clients do the work, man. I've had a couple of them tell me, your homework is insane. And I said, it's on purpose. You know what I mean? Like I make you dig deep. There's a reason why I make you do the homework because it's a strategy. You have to know the foundation before you can move forward with the graphics, the logo, the colors. That stuff's all zero filters, Mom. She knows it. Thank you. But that's basically where you have to be. You've got to be as raw as you can be or you're never going to find a solid foundation that's going to create a solid brand for the rest of your time.
Yeah. And it's the foundation. It's like what your house sits on, right? So
that's what I always tell people. Pour your cement first. What are you building your house on?
Otherwise, I got the the Three Little Piggies story going through my head, right? So if you don't make those foundations and you don't make them solid, in other words, your homework's on purpose, for this journey for them to produce an unbelievable, like you said, jaw-dropping brands that are going to stick out and people are going to, oh yeah, that's Kelly Servis. Oh yeah, that's Sam. Oh yeah, that's Aaron. Oh yeah, that's so-and-so. You know what I mean? They notice and they recognize because those people have done the work to go through and figure out what they want. And it's more than just stamping the hot stamp on your thing.
Rolling them through, just another body through the train. No, yeah, it's totally not like that. You have to do the homework. And, it's really cool because once you set the foundation, we as business owners, we're always evolving. If we're not evolving, we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing. And so your brand is the same way. It's going to always evolve. But if you have the foundational pieces, like your core values, the messages that light your soul on fire, these foundational pieces, they're never going to change. Your message may evolve a little bit, your clientele may evolve a little bit, but the foundational pieces are always going to be there. And so some of you have been around with me since I started as Kelly Lynette Designs and since have rebranded into Alchemy Creations, but you didn't really notice a huge change in the transition because my foundational pieces were there when I started with Kelly Lynette Designs. I knew the core colors were always going to stay there. I knew the core values were always going to stay there. I just really started to own my expertise and really come out of my shell, and that's what kind of made the transition into Alchemy Creations.
Yeah. Hey, Diana, thanks for joining us today. We're glad you're here. Hey, everybody, thanks for being on with us. Again, we're talking with Kelly Servis here of Alchemy Creations about branding. And if you guys that are on live with us have specific questions as we're rolling through, stick them in the comments. We'll address them as we go. So, yeah, we're just going to keep on moving here. We're super glad you guys are on live with us. I love this lady. I just love it, love it, love it. Can we talk all day?
Yes, please. I would rather do this than work anyways. Actually, we are working. That's the best part of our job. This is work.
So inside of all of that homework and that journey and that roadmap that are going on and that you're making your clients do, there's another piece in there that falls inside of that homework.
They're doing some serious soul searching, and then they're doing some Pinterest homeworking. And that is where we are seeing what images, what visual pieces, what are really truly lighting your soul on fire. We're paying attention to emotions that are evoked through these images, through these different fonts, through these colors, because these emotions are what are creating this brand experience for you. And a lot of mistakes that people make is they go by, oh, that's fine, or that's okay, or that'll work for me. And that's, again, where you're missing the core foundation of what's lighting your soul on fire. If that image is not making you do, oh my God, I have to have that, then it's not for you. Yeah. Like, that image, that feeling. You see a crystal that you come across, you have to have that in your life. Those are the things that you should be paying attention to, the visuals, the images that your brand is going to be representing, for sure.
Yeah, and when you're talking, it's like when you're shopping, and you're going around and some things immediately go in your cart and other things you just hang on to and then you go put them back on the shelf, Like, that's what goes through my head when you were talking, and it's the same kind of thing, I think, when you're having them filter out. Yep. I gotta have that pair of shoes, no question, or that purse or that shirt or whatever.
Yeah, and they'll go through, when they're doing their Pinterest homework, I have them go through anywhere from 100 to 200 images. And I know that seems daunting to a lot of people, but that really trains your brain to know what lights you up, what doesn't light you up. Those feelings that you get when you're shopping, you need to be able to identify those feelings in other areas. And that's why the brand foundations are so important. My mom said she had that trouble focusing. Yeah. So talk about a difficult client, Mom. I'm sorry, I love you, but she's a prime example, and she actually is very similar to a lot of my other clients because she has so many areas that she loved. She had no idea how to tie them in. I mean, if I'll have to share her brand with you guys. She loves leopard print, but she loves blue glitter, and she loves crafting. And so you want to talk about a difficult way of turning all of that into a brand? It took us almost a solid year to find the core pieces for my mother's branding. But again, we really paid attention to the lighting up of the soul, the really feeling excited. And yes, it was a longer process than most, but she finally figured out those feelings that we talked about, which are so important in creating a brand that's going to last for long term.
Yeah. Yeah, and those go into that, those visuals and those things that light you up go right into that identity. And your mom's making me laugh.
Loves it.
Lori, I love you. Sam's laughing too. But it's super funny, but it's true. When things absolutely, who cares if it's leopard print and blue glitter? I love that, Lori, and we're gonna use your example here. And and how do you put that together? Because those are two super awesome things that you love, and you got to have them, and they light you up, and your soul just, every time you see blue glitter, you got to have it. It doesn't matter if it's on gummy shoes or stationery,
This is my mother. To a T. To a T. And it was really fun to watch. She says, we need to talk. She's probably talking to you.
Oh, me, Lori? Yeah. No, we'll call later, Lori. Should we hang up here? It's me and you, girl.
Next thing I know, she's going to be your next guest speaker next week. But it is really nice because we have entrepreneurship in our family. You know, my dad has his own thing going on. My mom has her business. So it's really nice to be able to connect on a level where we understand the hardships of being your own boss, the hardships of building your own brand, your own website. Like we were all able, obviously I did their stuff, but we were all able to relate on those conversations and really be able to feed off of each other with our businesses growing. So it's awesome.
Yeah, that's a resource that you are, you're blessed to have that resource. You know what I mean? As a family.
I'm grateful for it.
You know, most people, myself included, you're going to work for yourself?
Yep.
Really? You know?
Are you going to be able to make money doing that?
Really? How are you going to find people to pay you? Yeah.
Don't worry, there's only 3 billion people out there that I can get a hold of, so it's fine.
And those are the women. There's really 6 billion if you count the men too. So,
This is true.
You know, so they're out there, and you had a brilliant post with a whole bunch of stats in it not too long ago that I pushed forward to my people because it was detailing out those stats. And if you think that there's no way you can get clients, you are dead wrong, people. There's no way one branding expert can deal with everybody's businesses. There's just not.
And that actually takes me into, you know, your personal brand as well, because I shouldn't want to work with everybody. Not everybody should want to work with me. Like, I have a very strong filter on what do I do because there are certain people that I can't work with. For those of you who know me, you know I'm very outspoken. You know I don't filter my language. There's a reason for that. I am who I am because I don't want the tightwad people who are going to get offended when I say ass or anything like that. Those are not my people. You have to know who your people are. And so that's really important on a personal level because you're not going to connect with everybody. And you're going to have haters. I mean, I've gotten hate mail. I'm sure you've gotten hate mail. Like, we get it all the time.
The first time's the worst.
Oh, yeah. I will never forget my first one. I checked my mail at 2 a.m, just on a whim, waking up in the middle of the night, doing that stupid stuff we do, and got my first hater email. And I swear I sat up for the rest of the night wondering if I should change my entire brand, my entire message. And by the time I really got a clear head on it and I'd done my journaling on the situation, it was like, duh, you teach people to be individual brands. Why the hell would you change your brand because one person didn't vibe with you? One.
Right.
So
that's the whole point. That that's the whole filter process too, right? So then that pre-screening and it goes back. Yeah, it's all on purpose. And guess what? Somebody that might contact me that doesn't line up with me or I don't line up with them. Guess what? I got 7 other people I can refer you to.
Oh yeah. And people get taken back when I refer other web designers. They're like, you're going to give away work. It's like all day long. If my girl who I know can handle this client and they feel like they're going to be a good fit, I'm going to send you to them. You know, I had a past client who had a project that it wasn't right for my needs. It just didn't fit where my direction was going. Still work with the client on a one-on-one basis, but that particular project wasn't for me. I had another designer who was up and coming and it was perfect for her. Great way to get her introduced to some new bodies, put her in front of some people. So I connected the two of them. It's the only, you know, it's the way to network. There's never, you know, a shortage of work. Never, ever, ever, ever.
And here's the other part of that. That's good karma. Right?
On that around here.
Nobody's mad. It's women lifting women also. Encouraging, elevating, scaling, helping, mentoring, empowering, whatever word you want to put on that. And collaboratively, that's how it should work.
Oh, it's so important. So important.
There's no competition in my world with other women, especially other women business strategists and growth consultants, because every single one of us have a different personality. Every single one of us have a different lane that we are brilliant in.
You see things differently, you hear things differently, you explain things differently. So it doesn't matter if you're the same profession or not. You do it your own way. And that's the whole unique reason behind a personal brand. I have multiple web designers and branding experts in my Facebook group. And, you know, a lot of people think that that's competition because they're, stealing from my clientele. It's not that way at all. We're all growing together. Our businesses are all growing together. There's over 4 or 5 billion people out in this world. So it's only better to help each other, lift each other up, really connect on a definite way to connect and collaborate.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Diana is going to watch the rest of this on replay. Thanks for joining us for a little while, Diana. We're super happy you were here. Yeah, so we've talked about what branding is. We've talked about the strategy behind it. We've talked about your story and why that's important and all the homework that goes into finding that. We've talked that all rolls into your identity.
Which, just to clarify the identity, in case we didn't get too much into that, that's the visual side of your brand, you guys. The story, the messaging, that's all part of the brand experience as well, and including the identity, all part of the experience. But that's the visuals, that's the fonts, the logos, the colors, the graphics, all of that stuff, the website, business cards, that falls under the identity part of it. So anything physical or anything that's related to the graphic side of things and visual identity is what the brand identity is referring to in that situation.
Yeah, and those are the little pieces that are, that extra personal touch, when you can hand out that business card or send it in a thank you note that's branded, or you know what I mean?
A branded proposal, a branded PDF or freebie, all of that stuff is part of that experience and should always be branded. I tell my clients from start to finish, if you take a look in my office, if you take a look at my office supplies, everything is branded to my stuff. And it's not intentional. It's just because I know what, lights me up at the core, and I was able to mesh the two. But I mean, you see my glasses case, my mouse pad, like my journal, everything is to my brand colors. And it's because I know what, lights me up at the core. And those are things that you'll start to notice once you're in true alignment with what your brand should look and feel like.
Yeah,
huge.
For
brand
sure.
identity is so big.
When you surround yourself with that stuff, it's just all that extra energy too from that, right? And that it's just a no-brainer. When all of that comes together and all that blue glitter and
leopard print
come together and they surround you, and your chair is upholstered in that leopard print, with a throw top, blanket over the side, and yeah, it's just beautiful, when you surround yourself with the things that you love. Why wouldn't you?
Feel better. Yeah, you feel better. You feel more on point. You feel like you're in tune with everything. You feel in alignment. The content flows. Yeah, like my leopard candle. She literally has everything. But you start to feel so in sync with everything, whether it's your office space or your actual digital space. It all just feels so on point. And that's what's really important. It's going to help your business flow because everything is so in alignment.
Yeah. Yeah. And it's beautiful. And ladies, we absolutely love you being on live with us. If you're watching the replay of this and you or your teams or anybody that you feel needs to see Kelly's tips and tricks and what's important and what's not, and the differences inside of branding, because so many people get it confused with other parts of your website. They don't realize that there's actually a difference.
And there's different branding experts. There's brand strategists, there's brand designers, there's brand, experts who do it all. So you really have to know how to, ask the right questions. Does your brand strategist actually do strategy? Is it just a designer who creates logos and color palettes and has no idea what a strategy even looks like? These are really important questions depending on what you want your brand direction to go. So know how to ask the questions. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to challenge a designer. If they're good at what they do and they know what they're talking about, they're going to be able to answer the questions on point. They're not going to hesitate. They're going to know exactly what's going to be best for you and your brand.
Yeah. Do you have any, I know you got a group program that's in route right now. I mean, it's already rolling.
We did. We actually launched, it was the first e-course, I should say DIY course that I've launched yet. I've always worked one-on-one, and I decided to kind of reach out to more people because a lot of people are just getting started and can't afford to hire a designer right out the gates. So I created Brand Alchemy 101, and it's a 6-week DIY course where my students right now are rocking and rolling. I just saw the first round of mood boards this week. I'm so excited for these guys. They do the brand audit out the gates. They start working on their brand story. They create their mood board in colors. Next week, they're going into their logo and fonts. And then from there, they're doing their brand imagery. So they're creating a brand from start to finish in 6 weeks on their own. Guided obviously by my expertise because I'm so awesome. But it's really fun to watch these people find their alignment and really grow and just, become the brand that they want to become on their own. It's outstanding. So
Now,
I
is that
can't
going
wait
to be
for
an
it.
ongoing?
Yes.
Is that going to be an ongoing?
Yes, I will be
People can
relaunching that in the fall. It's going to be launching in 2
good.
months. Yep. So as soon as this one wraps up, it's going to get tweaked a little bit more, add in what was missing and getting the feedback from my current students. And then we're going to relaunch at the end of October. Hopefully,
Beautiful. Beautiful. What else is going on? If people want to reach out to you, I don't even know if you're taking on clients right now. I don't know.
I have one spot for a one-on-one website and brand. I have a couple openings for brand strategy only. And then if you just want to get some tips or DIY stuff, you can come hang out in my Facebook group, The Creative Alchemist. I'm always doing trainings in there, dropping freebies and tutorials as much as I can. So I'm really here to help whatever you guys need. So just reach out whenever you have questions or whatever the case is.
Yeah, and that's no joke, people. Her group, Facebook group, is beautiful. She's not lying when she said she has all kinds of free trainings and tips and tricks, and they're all archived, and you can go back and find them anytime you want. And it's really a cool resource when it comes to stuff like this. And I'm not kidding. You can't find a more brilliant, more heartfelt, more soul-centered, on-point aligned brander that's going to listen to you and your needs and wants, not what they like and what they want.
No, we pay attention to the soul.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Intuition is a huge part of what we do. So we make you pay attention to your own intuition, and we really fine-tune that. So it's an amazing process, and it's so beautiful to watch some of these people come through. So it's really exciting.
Yeah. I have adored having you on with us today. Again, we've been talking to the Kelly Servis.
Thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. I absolutely adore you and love having conversations anytime it's brand related. You know this. Business, brand, and soulpreneurs. That's where we rock our world. So
I love it. Well, thanks everybody for being with us today. If you're watching the replay, again, we really appreciate it. If you got questions, drop them in the feed. We'll put Kelly's links in the feed here too, so you can go jump on and follow her. And thanks for being with us. We'll see you right back here next week.
Thank you so much, you guys. Have a great rest of your week.
Yeah, take care, everybody.
Bye.